Well, good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock. Well, 5 something, 5:02, 5:03. It's Wednesday. We do know that. It's getting warm here in Texas. We're still in the patio for another day, maybe a handful of other days, but it's that time again. It's time for virtual happy hour. Glad you're along. Let's cue the open. Here we go. There we go. Glad you're along. Hello, Wednesday. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Virtual happy hour. Here we go. Got the open down. The open sign is up. That was the open of the show. The open sign. There we go. Open sign. I'm gonna readjust the video. I look like, I'm not a tiny fellow, but I got a bunch of extra chins today in this video angle here. Here we go. A little better. I'm glad you're along. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday, happy Wednesday. Oops. What is on the agenda has been asked. Today's agenda, I do have something that probably would have changed my academic career maybe, or my athletic career. I will go into that just a bit later that I saw today. Other than that, let's check in with the thermometer and check in with the days in quarantine widget, which the last we came your way, we were at 84, so we're in 86. We can go ahead and type that in there. There we go. Boom. And what is the temperature? Good to see Mom, Kevin, and GM out there. Today's temperature right now, currently, now the patio, because the thermometer is actually located over in the hottest part of the area, the concrete wall. Let's just see what it tells us it is. At 94 is what it is right now. It's supposed to get, we're going to get a little hotter. Not much for the next week or so, but I do know the triple digits are coming. But the good news is, for us in DFW, it was another rainy spring, which it doesn't seem like it to me, but I guess it rained a lot. I feel like it did, but then again, I don't know. I mean, it kind of seemed like it did, but I guess when it rains around here, you kind of remember it because it usually comes with twisters and lightning. We get a lot more of the steady showers, the April showers, but May flowers kind of deal. According to weather folks that in the know, that because of that, I'm going to pull this down just a tad here on you. Because of that apparently they expect that the summer will be a little milder. Now, when I say milder, instead of having 60 days of triple digits, we're going to have 18 to 30 days, somewhere in there, maybe the 20s. So that's the hope anyway. All right, let's bring the open sign down. Glad you're along. And again, that's pretty much it. Wife will be joining us later. I got my Snyder's. That makes a good pretzel. You guys know Snyder's? You guys ever know these? Little nibblers here. They also do the little sticks. But my wife loves them too. They do the little pieces. She loves the honey mustard. I love the buffalo flavor. And they also have a jalapeno flavor. It's got a little kick to it, but those are always big players. Oh, good. So bear with me here. Pull the chat up here. There we go. Oh, yes. And then again, if you want to join us, feel free to. Just eating away here. Just sitting there eating, all right? All right. Glad you're along. Last night, wife will join me a bit later. We'll talk more about this, but we actually, baby steps as a couple. We went to a couple's outing away from the house. Now, we've done couple's outings at another couple's house. We've never done actually a sort of dinner out and about. And the further north you go in the Metroplex, the more, I guess I say, the more relaxed things get. But they are asking you to wear masks. But of course, you go eat. You don't wear a mask. But the service industry is wearing masks, and I outside the fact they closed early, which is kind of the way things are going now. A lot of restaurants are closing a little earlier. And number two, the fact that the one thing I do notice, besides the hand sanitizer, is the fact that the tables are spread apart. They actually have this place actually had numbers to kind of coincide with how far apart it was supposed to be. So anyway, all right, let's just see here. Ready for the chat to come up here. Set up. Yeah, we got England, Australia, Indiana, 3 countries, and Texas, 4 right now. My cousin in UK, Mom in Indiana, and Jake in Australia. Good morning in Perth, Jake and Bowser. Hope everybody's okay. All right, what's going on today besides eating pretzels? Busy day. Wednesdays always are busy around here. We had the T-Bone show today, which was full of information. Not probably the show I wanted. I'd like to have had a live guest, but hey, we're doing the best we can. But we discussed the draft of the American Association, some other odds and ends. Here we go. We got the, yes. Here we go. Yes, 5 countries, honey, 5 countries. All good. Oh, glad you're along here on a Wednesday. I keep saying that. I'm just hungry today. All right. Yeah, so last night, going to dinner was kind of cool. It finally, I don't know if that's going to be a regular thing for us anytime again soon, but maybe it will. I mean, maybe it will. I didn't come home feeling uncomfortable or anything. I've kind of got the point now. You guys remember back around day 30 or day 20, I was pretty freaked out. But I think now, I don't know. Good news is it was a good time. That's the good thing. But yeah, it's just part of the new norm. It's like we talked about on Monday, and I've kind of mentioned this several times before. Grab your keys, grab your wallet, grab your sunglasses, and grab your mask. That's kind of the way it is. That's the way of the new way it is these days. So all good. All righty. I mentioned my academic pursuits, perhaps my athletic pursuits might have been different back in the day if this would have happened. I'm going to actually pull the screen save or the screen share here on the show here. This is actually from the story I'm going to talk about, and I actually go and put it up here for you. Yeah, it's a little odd, but I'll share it anyway, what I'm trying to get at. But the headline reads, and I saw this today. I'll read it to you guys. Headline reads, TAPS announces partnership with Play VS to bring esports competitions to its schools. All right. So a lot, first off, I got my attention. TAPS, Texas Association of Private Parochial Schools. That's the district or classification I was active in athletically in high school at Trudy Christian in Addison, but TAPS, the largest private school governing body in Texas for athletics and extracurriculars. The UIL, University Interscholastic League, is the public school league. They are still looking at this, but apparently they're going to have esports in the private schools next year. How about that? Now, I've not been much into the whole esports thing in general. I mean, I think it's cool. Right now, Caroline's upstairs doing her streaming on Twitch, doing some game, gold climb, I don't know, something like that. But I began to think, back in the day, what a different off season it would have been for me. Because if you remember your high school days, you played a sport, you had the off season workouts, which you hated. If you're a footballer like I was, gridiron, that included needless jogging around the track and needless weight room sessions and all this nonsense that I just despised, and dreaded off-season workouts. They were the worst. Now, in-season was great. Practice, not so much, but I mean, you practice to play the games, right? Well, I started thinking, what is off season like for the esports crowd? I mean, do they do finger exercises? I mean, do you do a little jogging? Probably, I would guess your exercises, your workout is esports. So if you're playing whatever it is, esport game, what in this case, the three sports they're going to be playing, I can find it for you here, are going to be, make sure I got this right. They got three sports they're looking at, and well, you got the Overwatch League and the Empire Call of Duty League, but they've got, let's see here, it tells us somewhere in the story where they're going to play. Scanning. Way to prepare, Vaughn. Way to go. Way to be prepared for your show. Okay, here we go. League of Legends, Rocket League, and Smite are the three. I don't know what any of those games are. I have no idea. No clue. I have no idea what those games are. I have no idea if they're any good. But I begin to think I don't know if you guys have seen this. You may have. They're doing a little, they're doing some of the NBA video games. They're doing some sports video games. I'm thinking if when I was in high school, we had this option, I probably would have had something else to do when I wasn't playing football or baseball. So instead of doing off-season whatever in the winter, it might have been playing in whatever league, esports league there was. And I'm looking back now, I'm thinking, back then video games basically were two kinds. You had the Pong, the early Atari, the early Atari games were very rudimentary. Then you had the video games, the ones that cost a quarter to play at the skating rink, or the Tilt. You guys remember Tilt? The malls in Texas had these arcades. They're called Tilt. They'd have all the new machines, Miss Pac-Man, Asteroids, whatever, Centipede, bunch of pinball machines, skee-ball, all lined up. And that was a place to hang out when you weren't at the movie theater. The movie theaters also had video games, but by and large, you played your video games at the Tilt, at the movie theater, at the skating rink, whatever. So, so I'm thinking to myself, what a different world it might have been back in the day if I could have played said video games in the off season instead of jogging around aimlessly around Addison Boulevard, wasting everybody else's time, including mine. I'm just saying. And maybe because I was been locked into, say, playing a video game, I might have been more focused on my grades in the winter as opposed to not being focused. Maybe. No pass, no play. Maybe. I'm just thinking. If the right sport, if it were sports games, you never know. Let's play catch up here again on the screen here. Let's put that's the green room. You want to join us? I'd love to have you join me in the green room, and we'll get you on the show. Also, play catch up here. Let's see here. GM says COVID hit close to home this week with mom. Yes, and my wife will talk about that a bit later. We got a bit of a scare. We got a phone call. I guess it would have been Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. No. Yeah, no, it was Saturday. Saturday morning. My wife had a real scared look on her face, and she came to the office, and we did a prayer and talked, and she was upset because her mom and dad, her mom wasn't feeling well, running some fever, and she had to take the COVID test. Both her parents did, and that came back negative as of yesterday, but it kind of shook the house. Caroline, the youngest, was visibly upset when she heard about that, and We've not known anybody personally who's had COVID. No one I know personally. There's been a few connect the dots. I know a person who knew a person kind of deal. But by and large, I don't know anybody that's had it. And that was pretty scary, pretty close. And then out in Lubbock overnight, they had some major cases where the oldest works at Orlando's in Lubbock. But let's see here. Sam and I had lunch at the lake, but social distancing was in place at the Flipping Cow while my car was being serviced yesterday. How about that, Mom? Where are you, Mom? You out right now? Anyway, GM says you get your car serviced at some place called Flipping Cow. No, it's a restaurant, honey. It's a restaurant. No cafe's name, yes. Yes, the daughter would rock the Overwatch League. Apparently, again, and the public schools are not sure. They may do this too. They're thinking about, but apparently, there's two really successful teams. One of them is the Overwatch team here in Dallas. I mean, it's a huge deal. Apparently the largest esports group, arena, facility is the Metroplex in the country. Who would have thought? Let's see here. Cousin in England saying, got to sleep. Have a good night. Yes, y'all. Have a good night. Congratulations. And I hope things are going well for you guys over there. You and your lovely bride and the kiddo. And saw a great picture last week, I guess it was, your mom and dad. And on, I guess, a Zoom call with you guys over there. It looked like a lot of fun. I hope you guys are doing well. And yes, get that sleep. It's 6 hours in advance. You're what, almost midnight over there, something like that. Dadgummit, get some sleep. Morning in Perth, though. It's early morning in Perth. It's afternoon here in Texas. Let's see here. Suzanne Klaus, yes, good to Klaus Passes said as well. And all good. So there we go. Playing catch up there. So, yes, I'm thinking that perhaps, and granted, I don't think it would change. I would have not played sports. I was going to play football and baseball regardless. But the option to play a video game as a sport, which to me is unheard of, would have been a big option for me back as a kid. And I remember doing a story at Texas Tech that I did in my junior level. It was a junior level broadcast journalism class. Yeah, features and docs. And you had to do a feature and a mini documentary. And one of the ones I shot, and I don't know where it is, was the documentation feature, actually a feature of fraternity brothers of mine playing video games in the dorm. And they're playing a really good version of baseball. It was right with the Nintendo 64, but the Super Nintendo, whatever, they're playing that. I remember doing a bit on that. So, that was something I shot. I remember thinking back then, I was kind of on the edge here trying to promote what my brothers were doing in the dorm with their board. It turns out, fast forward 20, 30 years later, just might have been doing that for a living. Who knows? So, all righty. W40 is here as well. Bring her in a moment. She's come outside, cocktail in hand. Let's see what else we got here. Mom says I loved it's Coke Zero of some sort. Yeah, I didn't love wrestling. Again, to get out of wrestling or jogging, Overwatch League or I'm that Ken Griffey baseball or Tecmo Super Bowl or whatever would have been great for greatness. All right, number 2. I showed this video the other day on my show. I want to show it to you guys here. Yes, jogging is miserable. This was this afternoon, or not this afternoon, today earlier when we find it here. All right. Love baseball, obviously. The Hanwha Eagles in the Korean Baseball League lost 18 straight ball games, okay? That's matches the longest losing streak in the Korean Baseball League. It also matches the longest losing streak from, 1872 when the Reds lost 18 as well, okay? So pretty big deal. And Hanwha was going to a doubleheader on Sunday against Doosan. They had a game on Saturday, a suspended ball game, only played 2 innings, I believe. They picked it up as part of a doubleheader on Sunday. They'd lost 18 previous, right? And doubleheaders are usually, at best case scenario, you hope to split. The worst thing's a sweep. Getting swept, you don't want that to happen. Or earning a sweep's a big deal. Well, this team was staring an 18-game losing streak plus a doubleheader. The recipe for disaster was pretty big. Now, this is the end of 18-game losing streak, imagine. And these guys, it sounds like they won Game 7 of the World Series. I'm going to play it for you guys, and this shows you how baseball and sport translates worldwide. So I'm going to cue this up for you guys. Here we go. Bring this down, and we will bring it up. And here we go. It does translate worldwide. Sometimes it doesn't always seem like it, but here we go. This is the Hanwha Eagles ending their 18-game losing streak over the weekend on Sunday. Here's the final out, and it was a big deal. Get up for it. There we go.
때렸습니다. 유격수 옆으로 빠져나가면서 3루 주자가 홈으로 들어옵니다. 이제 하나이글스는 지긋지긋한 18연패에서 벗어났습니다. 7대6 하나이글스의 승리.
정말 우여곡절 끝에 자 연패를 이제 끊어내는데요.
네, 결국 노태영의 적시타. 하나이글스는 18연패에서 탈출. 경기장에는 없지만 듣고 있을 이글스의 팬 여러분, 연패는 이렇게 끝났습니다.
자 영웅은 이 난세에 나온다고 하는데
네,
정말 어렵게 하나이글스가 18연패를 탈출을 하게 됩니다.
예, 하나이글스에게 19연패는 없었습니다. 최다 연패 타이까지는 결국은 불명예스럽게 다가갔습니다만 더 이상의 연패는 일어나지 않았습니다. 날개가 없었다.
You get the idea. Now, again, what I love about that video, two things. A was the guy. Remember, they're playing with no fans. Okay, there's no fans in the stands except for cutouts and a few celebrity type fans, like VIPs. In general, the average Joe just can't go watch a baseball game in Korea. So what are they doing? Let me show you that. Can you see that shot again? Let me see if I can get that to you. They're actually on a building, a rooftop across the way from the ballpark. Let's just show you that picture here if I can find it here. They're on a building across the way from the ballpark. Let me just put the volume down here. I want you to see where they are. Let's put it forward here just a tad. I think this is it right here. Look at the fans as they're waving flags across the street. See, the stadium's empty. Look, there's no one there. Guys are going nuts. They just broke an 8-game losing streak. Where are the fans? Well, all fans are. There they are right there, waving flags, going crazy in the rooftop across the way. Oh my gosh, yes, that's what they were doing. That's the NY Eagles who had lost to get 18 straight, and they would go on to win the game one of the doubleheader or Dusan, and then, lo and behold, they won game two. Then they lost the next two ball games to go into a 2-game losing streak. But hey, you know what? They're rolling. At one time over the weekend, on that one day, they're the longest winning streak in the league for about 8 hours. But all good. So, yeah, baseball translates. But how excited were those guys? They walked off winners. It's always exciting. But those broadcasters, they were going through the roof. And you could tell the excitement that, hey, not only we won, we haven't set the record. There's no record. So all good. Yes, awesome stuff. That was awesome as WD-40 chimes in, and she is awesome, and she is going to join us. Now, I don't know where Mom is today. I had Mom Cam all ready to go, but I will bring the lovely wife in if I can type in couple cam here. But, yeah, she's going to join us in just a moment. She's got her – not sure what her – oh, I know why. I know why she's drinking a Coke Zero. Bring this down.
Why am I drinking a Coke Zero?
Well, because yesterday, I was on a move over just a tad here. We haven't got this part down yet, this whole sliding over. There you go. She's drinking a Coke Zero because yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, about this time, you were
At happy hour.
yes, having a happy hour. And
I had a rum and Coke Zero yesterday.
so are we scuffling today? Or
No, I'm not scuffling. Why would I be scuffling? I had 2 drinks at the
Usually
bar,
you're-
and I had a glass of wine with food.
Okay, now she debuted last night. At least I have not. The first time I'd seen this in person. The wine stick. Can you tell us about the wine wand?
I should have brought it out. The wine wand is awesome. It's called The Wand. If you can buy them on Amazon. For those do you want me to help you?
Well, hold on.
For those who have issues drinking wine in terms of like you get headaches or flush or whatever, or allergies, and you can't drink wine, this wand, it takes if you put the little wand and let it stir in your wine for like, I think it's 2 minutes, it takes away the side effects, but it does nothing to the wine, nothing to the flavor, nothing. It just takes away whatever side effect you have. And so I happened to have one in my wallet, and I was really kind of glad, because did you realize that the bottle of wine we had was a $250 bottle of red wine, and we had 2 of them?
Why are you publicizing that information to the
Yikes.
general public?
I had no idea that wine was so expensive.
Ooh, look at you. Oh, look at me. I'm out spending big bucks.
I didn't. Deanna picked it. Anyway,
Her discretion's not her best.
There's nothing
when it
wrong
comes
with
to
saying that
broadcast.
wine was expensive.
Don't brag about
I
that.
wasn't bragging. I was shocked.
Okay. To me, wine's all too expensive because it's just
Even at $13 a bottle,
Even
it's way
at
too much to spend.
even at $3 a box.
Yeah, $3 a box. We don't have $3 a box wine. I'll stick with the hard stuff. Anyway, so we had this wine, and I had no. I woke up today without any kind of headache. So normally, if I have any wine at all, I have a horrible headache, even if it's a half a glass. Within a couple of hours, I have a bad headache, and I did not have a bad headache, and I owe it to the wine. And I have a friend who's in my SMU cohort that helped fund back this particular product. And he was so funny. He gave me one to try. And he was like, okay, try this and let me know if it works. And he was like, and if it doesn't work, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
No, what would a wine set one back in the wallet?
I think the box has maybe 6 of them in it. Maybe it's $12 or $15. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I don't know if there's like 10 to a box or I have the box in there. I know that there were more than 3 because I've used 3 and have plenty more in the box. So maybe there's 10 of them or 12 of them. And maybe it was $15. I don't know. They're not expensive. But for somebody who likes the taste of wine, but doesn't like the side effects of wine, and I'm not talking about hangover. It's not going to get rid of a hangover if you drink too much. That's not the kind of side effect I'm talking about. But if you have any other kind of side effects from allergies, or if you're sensitive to the tannins or whatever else is in them that upsets people.
Does it make it taste better? Because if they don't like the taste, does it make it taste better?
No, it doesn't affect the taste at all. But it was good.
All
It
good.
was nice. We had a good time. We had a lovely dinner. We had a lovely happy hour, and I kind of hijacked her date with her new BF.
Yes, our friend Deanna, who went to high school with, whose father married us, as a matter of fact. So that was kind of cool.
Yes,
and you guys know each other for a long time.
Yeah,
and
he's a Kiwi, so that was kind of fun.
that
So
was kind of cool.
we got
Yeah.
to talk about Australia and New Zealand. So that was a lot of fun.
They just, that same part of the world. It's like saying, well, you live in Texas. That's close to Florida. But yeah, I mean, it's same side of the country, but not really.
Well,
But
they're
yeah.
both Commonwealth
Oh,
countries.
yeah, yeah.
Their flags are similar with one
Well, they're-
tiny little star difference.
Well, they're also, they've been allies, the Anzacs,
And
for a
they're
long time.
they're in the same league. They're both in the ABL. They both play in that thing. So that was it. Anyway, so I ended up calling him and said, "Hey, come join us for dinner." And he met us out. And that's what he was talking about earlier, that we had dinner out at McGuire's in Madison. But we were at the happy hour at Kenny's Woodfire Grill, and they had the bar set up where the stools were all 6 feet, apart. So like
But you
we
couldn't.
had 2, and they were 6 feet
What I was
apart.
curious about is, and I didn't see this last night. This is what I was going to ask you. When you went, you were, because that's more of a bar, a traditional bar as well. You couldn't lean up against the bar and order. You had to like either be in a seat or go to a table to order. You couldn't order over
We were
the.
in a seat. We were in a high top seat, like a bar stool. But no, we weren't standing or leaning up against the bar. We had to be seated, and the 2 of us were seated
Well,
together.
they weren't
He was in
taking
a mask.
orders though, were they? They weren't like people could, like if you're at a normal bar, people could walk up and kind of lean over the
Say, I'll
shoulder.
have a beer and
Yeah,
take it over.
yeah.
No, you had to be sitting at the bar to order. And we did, but I thought you meant order like food. We did to have like
No,
a
no,
little,
no,
we
I-
shared an appetizer and then
I just heard some
Yeah.
of the bar rules because when we were at Doty's a couple weeks ago, we were on the patio, but it was hard to really tell. And on the other side, there wasn't enough people in there to really tell what they were doing. People were sitting at the bar, but the inside part of the bar was harder to
it
tell.
was pretty hot. But I mean, every 6 feet was taken. I mean, it was full. When we went to McGuire's, Deanna and I were the only ones at the bar waiting for y'all. And we decided to take it to the table.
Right.
So we
The bar didn't seem too busy there, but I mean, but it seemed like the
That's
tables
a
were.
huge bar. If you want to go to a bar where you certainly won't catch COVID, that's a good place to go because there's plenty of room. That's the first time that we've eaten inside
Mhm.
someplace because we've been patio only
Yeah.
for the most part, and a little weirded out. So, but because there were so few people, I left.
And they were
not-
spread out. And I noticed too
We're
that
watching 5 days. I get COVID, and I'm like,
But
I've only been
there
in
were-
one place.
Well,
and
there were
there's
also there was a good range of different types of, you had a table full of women that were probably, between the ages of 40 and mid 50s. You had a table in the corner, not too far from us, that were probably 2 couples in their 60s. You had some kids younger, early 30s. It was a real good mix of folks. It wasn't like just one kind of people. So there was a good litmus test for us going forward. So
well, and of course, as you'd said before, the wait staff and the bartender, they all had masks on, so it wasn't. I didn't feel like we were endangering ourselves in any kind of way.
No, not at all.
Like I say, we'll have to wait. Remains to be seen if we all feel good for the next, week and a half.
Artists in the Bar seats 8 normally, and Friday only had 4 seats for the bar when the bar is open in Indiana.
But how many seats are there at the casino? Do they spread those out? Because I heard they opened them in Indiana. So have you been yet, Mum?
No, she drove by, she said, but I don't think she's actually been.
I don't think you should go in. If you want my 2 cents on that, I think you should not go into the casino for a while. That worries me. I'm sure Celeste Michelle would agree with me.
My sister in Denver, that is, but
she's a nurse.
Hey,
you know what? If
having
Celeste
fun, Mom,
Michelle
have fun.
gives you permission to go, I take it all back. Go. But it's so I don't know. Maybe it's the smoke, but they have good air filters there. Maybe it's better than the plane. I don't know.
Tell us what happened. We also had the 2 COVID. We don't really know anybody personally, but we've had.
I do, Coach Sexton.
Well, I don't know if you want to mention him.
He put it on Facebook.
Oh, okay, well,
sorry, I found out from him.
Sorry, Larry.
On Facebook.
Sorry, Larry. We didn't put your business out there, but
he put his business out there. I didn't.
We have Fox News and CNN right here, the same person. It's like, we'll put it all out there.
No, he put it out there himself.
Okay, that's the one
third party.
So one person we know out of everybody we know, and then
he announced it.
And then we had, your mom and dad were negative.
Scary. She get her birthday present. Her birthday's today, by the way.
Happy birthday.
39 again. Her birthday present was being told she did not have it.
And then we also found out last night the oldest at her restaurant. Well, they got 2 restaurants in Lubbock. This company more than that, they have 3, I guess.
3 restaurants, but 2 locations of the restaurant
where she works, Orlando's, and
at the Indiana store, they had a worker test positive, so they had to close it to clean and all that stuff. And I'm guessing that person's quarantining. And then at her store, she said there were 3 who tested positive, but they were still wanting her to come in and work, and she was a little freaked out.
Do you think my theory, the fact that everybody's getting more tests going on, that's the reason, and that?
Well, they had an outbreak at a local bar called Logie's in Lubbock, and if Ryan Hyatt watches this, he'll know it was well known that Logie's had a outbreak of sorts in Lubbock, and so this bartender got it at Logie's, who happened to work at Orlando's, and so now he's not at
Logie. Where in the world is Logie's?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Joy.
I'd ask Ryan. Ryan's show comes on about 10 minutes or so he'll be.
Yeah. So they have it, and so again, I pulled a Karen because I like calling the governor about unemployment in Kansas. I called the health department because I'm concerned about the fact that she had to go to work, and asked how long it takes the health department to respond if there are workers at a place who test positive. And apparently the health department in Lubbock is on it. I mean, there is not much of a lag. They're usually there within 24 hours. I was really impressed with the way that the woman answered my questions, and I was concerned that the other store was only closed for a day, and she totally put me at peace about why that would be, and that the health department makes those determinations based on the circumstances. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. They have a very measured response to different kinds of instances. And I asked her if Joy should get tested, and she said, I wouldn't, not now. Nothing would show up in her system anyway, and I would wait a week, and if she starts feeling sick, get tested. But if she's not sick, there's no need. And anyway, she really kind of calmed my nerves, and as a result calmed Joy's nerves, and so Joy was heading off to go to work.
Well, the health department of Lubbock looks to really impress me. Find a way to get Texas Tech to win more football games, and you really will be impressed with me.
Like the health department could do that.
I don't know. That's more. I mean, that's my pulse of Lubbock. Win more games. Win more games.
Well, I would like for them to be COVID
free.
The thing that bothers
I'm not worried about anything else, but win more games.
The thing that I hope we can even play, and if we cannot get our crap together in this state and bring these cases down, I'm worried that school is going to be a challenge in the fall. I mean, if we keep seeing this jump, and we haven't even hit the second wave, so they say. Like, what are we going to be doing? I mean, like, I don't.
What if there is no second wave? They're just throwing it out there. What if?
Well, I don't know. Well, then the first wave is just one really long wave. I don't know.
What if this is as good as it gets? What if this is as bad as it gets? Is this? I mean, I'm just saying.
This is as bad as it gets. I think we could function. I think that we could wear masks, socially distance at school. Kind of avoid large gatherings like we'd have to figure out what we'd do with chapel, like maybe 2 grades at a time and sit apart over the row kind of thing. Same with assemblies. Maybe they would simulcast those on some kind of screen. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think parents, people who work, need their kids to be in school. I think it's really hard. If you say we're not having school, because now all of a sudden parents do have to stay home, and they may not have the choice.
What happens if somebody's been out of a job, let's say 6 months, suddenly little Johnny goes back to school, but suddenly little Johnny's got to go home, and somebody's got to be home to mom or dad's got to work, and they got to pay for somebody to help watch the kiddos. Or,
it's not going to work.
Or what happens if they're out of a job still? The kid's not in school. They can't, or they get a job. Let's say little Johnny comes home.
Well, somebody's got to homeschool little Johnny.
But it can't work. I mean, that's the thing. It creates a real
it's hard.
mess.
And we don't want kids to get any further behind. I mean, will they recover? Yes, kids are resilient. Would it kill them to have a year off school? Probably not. But it just set a lot of things back. I certainly hope that's not the case. Somebody was talking about how, like, as teachers, we're planning for potential online classes next year or in-person classes next year, and it's like Schrodinger's cat.
Mom says they drove by the casino. They're limiting the number in the casino, 6 feet between slots. Most popular slots have plexiglass barriers between. Have to wear masks, no smoking. They take your temperature.
Oh, good.
Not planning on going in the near future. Well,
okay. Well, and maybe you could play the slots even with gloves, and then take the gloves off and wash your hands.
Well, I have a friend of mine, Wes Bowen, who is out in Vegas right now with his family, and we talked to him this morning, and I meant to ask him, and I'll be interested to see what he tells us next week when we have our Zoom.
When were Christy and Tommy planning on going to Vegas?
I think they
July?
might be out there now. I thought of 22. I'd be interested to see what it's like out there, because that's a place that just depends on tourism. I did notice today too overnight that if you're flying a domestic American or Southwest flight or Delta flight, and you're in the back of the bus, in the Gen Pop to call it, if you're in Gen Pop, you will not get no alcoholic beverages. You'll get the joy of water and hand sanitizer. If you're at the front of the bus, you're probably okay. You get free drinks.
Well, I heard that they were going to be leaving the middle seat open through September.
Southwest is definitely doing that. I do know.
I wonder if more people will fly.
Well, I can't tell you this on the American side because we were looking for a trip for us in July. I do know Delta, I believe it was United, or pardon me, Air Alaska. One of the two, I saw a seat map of a flight, and there was the middle seats where, if you look at the seat map when you go to buy a ticket, there's like a blue line all the way through the aircraft on each side of the fuselage where a middle seat would be. American, what I've seen on their seat maps, they're wide open. As far as
you may have two together, and then
but you would travel as a couple. You'd still travel. I mean, you could travel. You could be across the aisle or the same. I don't know if there's a divider there, or they're just not selling the seat.
Well,
I think what they're doing. I think what Alaska's doing, they're just not selling the seat. So if you are together, you could just slide over with the person you're with. But you want to be together. You want to be like slide over to some random Joe who might have it.
Do you remember when we were on that flight? I think you were with me, unless I was flying to see you, one of the two. There was the guy, the family with like the 6 kids.
Yes.
Were you with me on that flight? And they were all just like.
Yes.
They were like, they had 6 kids and only 2 parents. Why would they want to be that outnumbered? I don't know. But anyway, so like with the littlest ones, the parents were sort of sitting in between the littlest ones, and then the oldest one was with the 2 medium ones.
They were in business.
Where do they sit?
They were in business with us, weren't they? Or first class with us, weren't they? Yeah. They were.
I don't
The ticket
remember.
was almost the whole back. It was us in the front, another couple to the left of us, and then everybody behind us was his family because it was only like it was an Airbus 319. There was only like 8
And they
or
weren't
6.
in coach?
I don't think so. Well, maybe they were. Maybe they did go by. There was a family when we went to
So how did
Belize.
you fly that many people first
There was
class?
a family that was all together in first class on the way to Belize.
No, but the mom and the daughter were in first class, and the dad and the son were in coach. You don't remember
But
that?
there was
We
a
were
group-
joking about that.
Coming back, there was a family there. There was a couple, like 8 or 6 people that were
Maybe
together.
because there's nobody
Okay.
on the plane.
Let's see here. Mom says, by the way, Mom, I didn't catch this earlier. She wanted me to ask my brother something about football in Indiana. I don't know what that was about on the show. Lawyer on the Council of Aging Board whose wife is a legal compliance officer for Four Winds, and she has a 27-page document for rules. Wow, that sounds like the American Association's
Yeah, that's
what I'm hearing. I'm hearing
ridiculous.
my sources tell me the American Association Baseball League had I believe a 20-page or 18-page document, email, what do you want to call it, with all the protocols for what they've got to go through. You know,
But how can they guarantee people are going to follow it?
well, I think that there's certain odds and ends that you have to follow. Like there's going to be certain things, no spitting, for example, less
No
interaction,
spitting.
less
In
interaction,
baseball,
less
like, so
inter-
no dipping.
less interaction with fans. We were before you would sign and you would be right there with fans talking to a group of fans. There'd be less of that, things of that nature. I think there's also some cleaning things and things of that nature. I haven't seen the document, but I've heard about the document.
Maybe
so a little
this
bit
will
like
make
that.
many of the less inclined to be clean people more clean.
Could be. Yeah, it's interesting to see how that works because again, they're several international. Now, I believe if you're flying anything over 2 hours, they will provide, because a lot of the airlines have already cut out meals and things and
They
snacks.
did that years ago.
Well, but they've been cutting out the ones you can purchase in coach. But now that this whole thing's going on, they're just trying to have as little interaction with the general population as possible with the flight attendants.
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. But if you're paying a premium price for a ticket, which would be business or first, you're going to want that treatment. And they have kept that treatment for the folks that pay for that premium. But they've changed that dramatically. And that's a real different world for a lot of folks who are used to flying, an hour flight, getting a drink or two, and flying. Your mom knows this from flying Southwest.
Yeah,
getting
all
their-
those drink coupons.
drink coupons.
Yeah. Love the drink coupons on Southwest.
My mom says Sam was listening to my well, he was really bored. I see.
Yes. You don't need to say that. People don't watch that because they're bored.
Today's show was a little bit on the boring side. It was a lot of me.
Well, listen, you had a bunch of stuff.
It's a
and I
lot
love
like
that you
it's a
had
lot
the
like
song.
this. It's a lot like this. A lot like me talking and no one really listening. It's kind of the same thing. But there's baseball. And the point was good. It was the highlight of the show. It was actually pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah. So anyway, I don't know.
So my mom's birthday's today. Father's Day's this weekend. I have cards in there, and maybe we need to drive over to Mom's and give her the card
We also
later.
need
And
to take
maybe we need to get her like a cupcake or something.
like a COVID-free cupcake.
COVID-free cupcake.
Congratulations, you didn't get it, sort of deal. Is that,
We should.
here's
I wonder what it would look like. We
here's
just
your,
have it look
here's
like
your
a
red
little COVID.
velvet cupcake. Congratulations, you
go.
didn't get it with a
You didn't
thermometer
get it.
sticking out of it. I mean, like
She
that.
could use the thermometer because you broke the one she had.
I didn't bring it.
No, I said she broke
Oh.
the one she had. And that's why I had to go traipsing around on Monday looking for a thermometer, and they were sold out in the 230.
So after I was getting dinner ready, and then got called to the restaurant. So tonight we're going to
Thank you for
we're
being
gonna repurpose last night's dinner. Hope it doesn't give us salmonella, but we got definitely got chicken that's brined enough to probably melt,
gonna be soft.
probably melt in your mouth. And then we've also got some salmon we're gonna
That'll be
toss
good.
in the grill. So we
I might
should
do the sandwich.
well, do what you got to do. I'll eat the salmon, whatever. I'm a fat kid, so whatever you got to do. But that's tonight's fire the grill up here in a few minutes, and that's what's been over here. What about you guys? Where you're at? Of course, it looks like we have a thin crowd today. I don't blame them. Let's see
You
here.
can't say things like that.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
People have gotten really tired of this show. We got to really do something to spice it up. I thought the video would help, but Jordan is on, and he's going to be. Yes, I saw that. Congratulations, Jordan. That you guys are expecting. Congratulations, and that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Jordan, a dear mate of the family, and lives up there in Indiana. And congratulations. That's
That's
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah,
So
very-
does that mean he gets a Father's Day card this year since he's got a bun in the oven? Or does he have to wait until next year when the bun is out of the oven? Is there such a thing as a potential father's card, like a aspirational, like we're hoping you'll be a good dad next year?
got a year to work on it, kind of thing. You know,
Get your act together.
Here's your year warning. You got a year to work on
Get
it.
your act together because next year it's going to count.
Could
Father's
be,
Day
could be.
card.
Could be.
That's funny.
Could be.
Caroline was worried about finding a Father's Day card for you because she said last year the one she got was so perfect she didn't think she'd be able to find another one that good.
How about that? She's upstairs doing some kind of.
I hope she's putting her laundry away
some
that
kind
she
of.
washed back when we were coming back from Lubbock.
She's on the Twitch thing, right?
Yes, she's doing an Overwatch.
Started about 2:00, maybe something like that.
3:30.
3:30. She started a stream and she was rocking and rolling, and I heard her, and she's like just talking away to folks, and I guess folks talk back. I don't know.
They're on like a
I
team.
just said howdy, and that was pretty much it.
They're on a team. And I was like, I'm so confused. What's the point? And she said, we're trying to move this truck, and it's going to take a long time.
On my earlier comments, do you think that it would have been good or bad to have esports in high school? Oh, you're an educator. What do you think about that? Because I'm sure those St. Mark's guys
We have an esports club.
they're probably like a robot club, right?
Well, of course they have robotics. We do have an esports club as well. And they wanted it to be included on the sports page in the Remarker. I think they made headway to doing that, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they tried and they got shut down. I don't remember what the end result of that was. But my personal opinion would be, I'm not a fan of esports, but when you're doing everything these days online, that's fine. As much as you could overplay soccer or overplay, like be too involved in your sport, you could. I think there's such a thing as too much of a good thing. So if there's too much of a good thing, you could have too much of a good thing.
There we go. I'm just looking at it. Go ahead. Continue.
Too much of a good thing on esports online. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at the patio cam. Just showing folks the patio cam.
Yeah.
Patio. Looks pretty happy. I don't know where the dog went. Where'd he go?
I don't know where he went.
He's under somewhere.
He's
There's the
probably behind us.
patio cam. But yes, I'm kind of.
I mean, like, kids are online enough. I mean, to me, it seemed like after doing school online, they wouldn't want to be playing games online. It's just like an online overkill. But I also think it hits a portion of the population that might not be as much into sports as others. So, I mean, like, I'm all for, like, getting as many kids involved in something that gives them a chance to be included as you can.
Gotcha. Josh, good evening to you, too, over there in Tarrant County. Eric
Josh.
Johnson, Tarrant County. You're one of the two. I know you're over that way, but I don't know if you guys live in Tarrant or Johnson.
Robertson fans.
Yes, we are. Good day. Got the first 2 draft picks yesterday, too, I saw. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Good to see you out there. I think a little bit, too, at least it's kind of like we talked about before. All bets are off. I mean, everything this is one of those deals where, and I think I told you guys this conversation, I had this conversation with some mates in Australia who were looking at how to do some things differently in baseball. And this is one of those deals where, because of the situation, all bets are off. Things are different. You carry a mask in your pocket. When you go to a restaurant, like I mentioned earlier, it was a little different last night. Your waiter, waitress is wearing a mask and gloves. That's just kind of the way it is. I think anything education-wise to keep the boys and girls all engaged.
Yeah.
And I also saw today, this is something I was going to mention.
Need to find places where they fit in. I mean, and if that's where they fit in, fit in.
And you're seeing, too, that UIL, University Interscholastic League, announced today or earlier, I guess last night, they're going to – in Texas, you can't live broadcast video of a football game. You can do radio all day. Radio, no problem.
What was their reasoning for that?
Well, just basically to keep the idea is to keep folks there, come to the games. I don't
think it'll impact.
You have some places that generate some super revenue with season tickets. I mean, you got towns.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You got you're
that's not going to. Nobody's going to watch that if they can go.
Temple, Texas has got season tickets. I mean,
so if you had tickets to a Tech game, and we're in Lubbock, do you think anybody at Tech with a ticket is going to choose to watch it on TV instead of go to the game?
No,
ticket?
No, that's
what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this is going to cut into.
No, you're just. That's not what I'm saying. The reason they didn't do it is because of that. It's not the reason they do it. It's the reason they didn't do it. is because of that. That's the reason they stopped doing it. So the reason they stopped doing it is because, or the reason they haven't done it. But UIL's announcing because it'll be a little different this year. There's a chance that some of these high schools may only have half the fans. They may have to be social distance because of that. Maybe
they keep it past
maybe
that.
your grandparents who would go to the game to see the grandson who
Don't
feel better about home watching it. Usually the radio broadcast for the most part in Texas high school football and basketball to a degree has always been bigger for the road fans, the road team anyway, because you've got some places. There are places in West Texas where you might drive 2 hours from Lubbock to Abilene to play, and not everybody wants to make that drive. You may have places in East Texas where, the Metroplex.
He's played so many teams in Tyler.
You might play in Fort Worth, which is from here. If you go to school in North Dallas, over in Southwest Fort Worth, a good in traffic, a solid hour and a half.
Yeah, from Country Day to St. Mark's. That's a long haul.
So yeah,
Trinity Valley.
But yeah, I saw that today too. I guess my point is, and I think as an educator, you see that there be some changes coming that way. I think. Definitely be some changes.
Yeah.
Just trying some things. And if it doesn't work, we just toss away till it doesn't work. But if it works,
it'd be good.
All good, right? You're low risk, high reward.
Yeah. Well, and even the whole esports thing, it got me thinking about kids with physical challenges, like could be involved in sports in ways that they couldn't be involved. Because they could be on a team in ways that they couldn't be on a team before. But this whole broadcasting thing, the whole streaming thing, I think is a great idea. I hope that they keep it in play even after sort of
we'll see.
COVID. And God help us, where are the vaccine people? Please hurry.
What?
We need the vaccine. So this is an ancient history.
Okay. All right. Anything else to chime in?
I really want the vaccine.
She wants the vaccine, folks. Well, I'm glad you guys joined us today. 86. Then we're going to be, Monday we'll be at 90. So again, we're not actually locked down, but we're still in this random state of
staying home most of the time.
Whateverness. It's. But the observation I had yesterday, I went and got coffee up the street, and just sitting there. I placed an order for my app and waited, a couple minutes. But by and large, I don't see people not. I keep seeing the news. Folks aren't following the rules, but I don't see that in our neighborhood. Are you seeing that?
Not here. Like I told you the other day when I went to Walgreens looking for a thermometer for mom, these two girls were standing outside. Teenage girls were like, "Hey, will you go in and buy us a mask? I'll give you my credit card. We can't go in anywhere here without a mask on." And I was like, "Well, are you not from the area?" And they were like, "No." And so I went in and I was like, "I'll just go buy them and you can Venmo me." So I went in and I bought him a pack of 15 disposable masks and brought them out. She Venmoed me and I was like, "Well, so where are y'all from?" And she was like, "Euless." And it cracked me up because apparently in Euless, they must not be wearing masks because they didn't have any.
Yes, Notre Dame athletics will be interested to see his take. Yes, well, he probably what they call drive-by mom. It's a drive-by of this show. We have a lot of drive-bys here. Anyway, I think I saw a mom and a daughter, maybe 20s of the daughter and the mom maybe in her 50s, and they walked in right behind me as I was walking out of the coffee shop. No mask on, but it's like they walked in and went, "Oh," and they immediately pulled them out of whatever they were wherever they were and put them on. It's like it's still taking some folks to that kind of deal.
It's very much not our routine.
But I walk back out of the car. I can't get mine off fast enough. I'm in the parking lot 126. It's off. I'm
me too, because they're hot.
Yeah, it's brutal. But
it will give me more empathy for women who have to cover themselves all the time. It's be really hot.
What do you mean by that?
Well, women who wear hijabs, women who wear burqas, that's got to be really, really hot. So they wouldn't need a mask. So my guess is COVID is why. So why is it so big in Iran?
Babe, I don't know. That's really a question for this show, I guess. Yeah.
Because they all have to cover them. Maybe it's just the men. I don't know. I'm going to look into this.
Yeah, you need to look into this.
Sorry.
All right, that's the most random. Okay.
We're talking about masks and COVID.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys were here today. Friday we'll do something. I don't know what. We'll be here. It's getting to the point, though. I would say the week or two we'll be able to sit out here, and then we'll probably have to move it. Well, We actually have
Look, it's a
misters.
pool.
We actually have misters. Let me show you guys. Right above us. See that line right above? Oh, I'm sorry. Can't see it right there.
Should I point?
No, it's right. You can't really see. I point to it. It's hard to make it out.
These are misters.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, there you go. You see right below the move to your. Yeah, there you go. See it where she's pointing. We actually have misters there. You can get the umbrella is kind of in the way there, but we actually have misters. It would work fine, except I've got the laptop plugged into the wall. It'd probably be okay. We have to move out a little bit further. But the misters do work. We do know they work. It does get a little damp over here. I don't know if I want my gear getting wet, but we may have to work out something. I don't know what. We may just go. What I may do is go mobile and just do it on the phone. I have the capabilities of doing that. We can do that, and maybe. So we'll figure it out. But we've got another week or so probably to worry about that. I want to ask you this too. I got you on here, WD-40. Do you like this new look of me here? Do you like that?
That's adorable.
I don't know why it came out like that. I want it to look like this one, but that's the new.
That's adorable.
Yeah, that's the new. That's
How
going to be
cute is that?
That's going to be the new.
I did its cover because you need a haircut.
Yeah, I do need haircuts. That's going to be eventually going to be the new part of this graphic, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So there you go. So there you go. Also, a reminder to
Maybe you should make one of me.
I can do that.
Give you something to do
with the wine wand in hand. There we go. You can also check out. There you go. The Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, all right there. That's where they are. The cooking channel is up, and it is. It's simply. I'm going to show it to you where you can go on YouTube. There's one up. I've actually had a couple visitors today. Shocking development. Somebody actually checked it out today.
Yay.
Maybe my wife, but somebody did check it out. But go check out The Broadcaster Can Cook. It's my new YouTube channel. And the videos have been up, but I've gone back to and re-edited a little bit and also cleaned the video up and put an intro video and outro with it. But the first installment of the Broadcaster Can Cook is up. It's the YouTube channel, The Broadcaster Can Cook. Just type it in. Type in my name or type in Broadcaster Can Cook, and you'll find, with the question mark, you'll find the video up. I'll be adding those slowly but surely here in the coming days. So please check that out. Love to have you guys check that out and also bring this in as well. Oh, there he is, folks. There he is. The dog is making an appearance. Max, hold on, bud. Hold on. There we go. Come up and say hi to Mom. There we go. There we go, folks. He needs a haircut as well.
Yes.
It's haircut time. How you doing, bud? What are you doing?
Oh.
It was a 2-bag day this morning for him. 2 bags of poo this morning. How about that?
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, busy guy. All right.
Because we give him so many snacks.
All right, yeah, snacks for sure. All right, let's put the close sign up, the part we hate the most. Put your head in there, babe. All right, we'll see you guys on Friday, 5 o'clock Central Time. Let's put the close up and the close sign up. Lean closer. Oh, everybody's close. Everybody's close. And let's close things out. We'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks for joining us. Love you guys. Hug somebody. Love somebody. And we'll see you Friday on virtual happy hour. See you later.